back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside. Come inside. It's Dusty. It's your boy. How you doing? Been a good 2 weeks for you? Been a good 2 weeks for me. It's been awesome. It's a beautiful sunny day here in San Jose, California. 74 degrees. Bright and sunny. I was out getting my teeth cleaned this morning and taking care of stuff and, you know, those adult things you need to do when you're an adult. You know, take care of bills, put gas in the truck, things like that. But you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about my day, do you? No, nobody wants to hear about my day. You're here to meet one Sophie Cabera. Soph, where are you?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? How you doing out there in Colorado?
I'm doing all right. It is dark and cold.
Dark and cold. What part of Colorado are you in, by the way?
I am in downtown Denver right now.
Downtown Denver, Colorado. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time I was ever in Denver, I was driving through it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice here. I just moved from Florida, so I enjoy it.
Yeah. So, you getting into snow, snow things like tubing or skiing or snowboarding, or are you just staying inside with a cup of cocoa?
I actually went snowboarding a couple weeks ago for the first time. Yeah. I fell a lot, but I used to surf, so I was pretty good at it.
Yeah, you'll pick that up
after a while. Yeah.
I used to skateboard, so it took me about a weekend, and then I'm fine.
Yeah,
exactly. I like snowboarding. I've been doing it for about 7-8 years now. So,
yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Nice. It's great, other than the equipment. Damned expensive. But,
it's really expensive.
Yeah, so let's get into it. First stock question I'm going to give to everybody. What are some of your earliest memories of cartoons or comics that you enjoyed as a kid?
Well, I definitely enjoyed the mornings when my father would read me the comics in the paper because I was too young to read them myself. Mm-hmm. So I used to remember not being able to understand any of the words, but just seeing the pictures and really kind of making my own stories in my head, you know, what these characters were doing outside of the comic. And my favorite was Calvin and Hobbes by far. I think everyone knows that. I think almost every cartoonist my age, I'm in my late 20s, can cite that as a reference and an inspiration. So I definitely like that. And I watched, you know, Disney all the time, Rescue Rangers, Gummy Bears. I'm pretty old, so I liked all those late 80s, early 90s stuff.
No, you're not old at all. Unless you can bring up Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, you're not that old.
I have no idea what that is.
That's just it. Okay. All
right. Yeah. No.
I used to watch those weird Sid and Marty Krofft dropping acid Lidsvilles and things like that.
Oh wow. Yeah. Those. No, I've seen some of those, but I didn't watch the original Ponies as a kid because I didn't really like it. So, and I definitely like it now. Yes. You know, the new one. So.
We all like it now. What was that one thing that got you to pick up a pencil and start drawing?
Well, I started off with finger paints, so I couldn't hold a pencil really well yet. My parents, you know, obviously a theme here, they were very supportive of art. My mom bought me a tiny little stand-up easel so that when I was a toddler, I could be in the kitchen with her finger painting while she cooked and, you know, did everything.
Nice.
So I kind of did that before I even have any memories of it, really, and I just kind of kept drawing ever since.
That's cool. So, what are the first memories of something that you drew that you can remember? You know, everyone starts to draw out their favorite thing, you know, whether it be a comic or a cartoon character or something. What's that first thing you can remember that actually tipped you into wanting to go from finger painting to actually drawing?
Well, we had these programs when I was in elementary school for fire safety, and one of the things that they would do is have a fire safety poster contest where you had to design your own poster that conveyed fire safety in some way. And I had picked the safety tip that you don't go for possessions or valuables, just get out of the house. So I had Garfield trying to go back into a house for his lasagna that was on fire. And my entire class was just in love with it. Like, everyone showered with me with attention for a week or two because of that poster. Everyone wanted me to draw Garfield or this character, that character. And that's kind of when I was like, I want to do this. This is fun. So
cool.
It was, yes, Garfield trying to save lasagna.
Garfield trying to save the lasagna. Love it. So going from grade school and fire posters, you obviously moved up into some other schooling or training in drawing. What kind of training have you had in your art field?
Oh, well, I went to college over in Orlando for art and animation. I'd always kind of wanted to be an animator, but as that kind of progressed, I realized I liked illustration more and comics more.
Mm-hmm.
So while I do have a background in 3D and 2D animation, I ultimately went more of an illustrator route. So I went to college, I graduated with a bachelor's, and throughout the entire course I had life studies and, live model studies. So it was really helpful. I think one of the things people kind of make the mistake of when they start learning to draw is that they'll learn one style, like take pony, for example. They'll only draw ponies when you really need that basis of, draw a cup that's sitting in front of you, or a spoon, or, advance to drawing your siblings or your best friend. You have to start with the basics. You can't just draw one thing if you really want to understand the principles.
Oh yeah, when when I moved here into California, I took a life drawing class, and the first thing they did is they put a basket of apples out there. It's like, oh, draw that.
Yeah, exactly.
So boring. Yeah, but draw it. Okay, fine. So we drew that, and it just kept getting big. You draw a boot, draw a chair, draw this, draw a negative space, draw all that kind of stuff. So it was like, wow, it all helps. It all helps.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is the one thing that you tell those people who come up to you, ask, and say, "I love your art. How can I get any better at it?"
Well, I mean, to touch on what I just mentioned, I tell them to draw what's in front of them first, to learn shading and, the kind of principles that will really help them in the long run. But the main thing is lots of people say draw every day, and that's correct. You should draw every day, but don't draw the same thing every day. Don't just draw Rainbow Dash every day. You're never going to get better except for at Rainbow Dash, and that really limits you.
Yeah. What if somebody comes and says, "I'd love you to draw Fluttershy," and you can't do it?
Yeah, exactly. So draw every day, but challenge yourself. Yeah. Draw things that you aren't comfortable drawing, because, it might look bad when you first draw it, but if you start challenging yourself, eventually you're going to be able to expand and be able to draw something you haven't drawn before pretty well on the first try, just because you're used to drawing things you're not comfortable with.
Yep. I can see that. You are like a triple threat. You do drawing, you do painting, you do costuming, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
So let me pop up a costume shot here. That would be, I think, that one. But, what got you into making costumes at the start? And did you have any formal training in costuming? Oops.
Well, I've always really been into Halloween. When I was a kid, my mom would make my costumes, and then when I got older, I would start making them for myself. And in college, I met a friend who did it for a living, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I helped her out on the weekends, got to know how to sew and use machines and things like that. So for a couple years, I decided I would do it for a living to make money, and because I was right out of college, I didn't want to go and work in a call center. I wanted to keep doing art, but that's a really hard business to break into. So costumes were a really good way to kind of ease myself into the freelance life. So it wasn't formal training, but I did learn, as kind of an apprentice. And then as I kind of left working with my friend, I developed my own techniques and springboarded into my own whole costuming career.
Yeah, because I got big Macintosh over my shoulder here, and that the yoke you did was kind of cool. Not sure how you pull that off, but that was kind of cool.
A lot of it's trial and error. That yoke took a couple tries, and it wasn't even perfect when I finished it, but I was happy enough with it, so I went with it.
There you go.
That's, if anyone wants to get into costuming, that's the big thing, is trial and error. It's not going to look amazing your first time or your second time or your third time. Wait till you're... Yeah.
Yeah,
you need to wait a little bit.
I did mine either.
Yeah, so it's frustrating to learn, but ultimately it's pretty rewarding, and I enjoy it a lot. I now do art more than costumes, but I still occasionally make them.
Yes. Speaking of, people pretty much were introduced to you by these two guys, Rainbow Dash and Applejack, which were the first two that you popped out of the MLP series way back. When? Were they actually like a request, or did you just say, "I'm going to make these two ponies just because"?
Well, it was me and my roommate at the time, and we really we loved the show. We had just gotten into it, and it seriously was the third time I had sat down to watch it when I was like, you know what, I bet I could make costumes of these. And this was when no one else had made anything like this.
Nothing.
It was around 2009, so the fandom was very new. And my favorite character at the time was Rainbow Dash, and my roommate's was Applejack. So I'm like, you know what, let's just make the characters, and we can go to a couple cons and see if people, you know, like them. So that's what we did, and it was an insane, like, that is probably the closest I've gone to going viral on the internet, I think, that I've ever been. So that like, the Rainbow Dash popped up on tons of shows on Comedy Central, you know, like, people were just, you know, going crazy about it.
Nuts.
So, it was very interesting.
They were really good. I mean, it's like,
oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is, you saw the stuff that Hasbro did with the dragging rear legs, and then you saw what Sophie Cabera did, and it's like, Hasbro, knock on Soph's door, because she did all of them.
There actually was a time where I heard rumors from people who were in the know that Hasbro was thinking about talking to me about making their costumes. You know, they never did, but I heard rumors, so who knows? Yeah,
who knows? Like this shot of you guys walking the Dragon Con parade that year.
Yeah, definitely.
So you did all of them, and all of them were quality stuff. It's sort of like, okay, where's the Hasbro logo? It's like, where's the rep? As all of a sudden, it's like all these ponies are walking in the con, and I think there was a guy. How did you deal with it? I mean, they were so brand new. I'm sure that you had a bunch of haters going, oh, well, that's not what they're supposed to look like, or any of that stuff. Because I actually saw a report video from that parade, and the guy was pretty disparaging about your costumes, and I wanted to track this guy down and punch him in the mouth.
I don't know if I saw that one. Was it the one where it's like he's playing an older gentleman?
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. I mean, that was a whole like big joke. That's his shtick.
Is it his shtick? Because it didn't.
He's not actually even old. That's a costume he puts on, and his shtick is being kind of.
I wasn't very happy with him.
Yeah. So he makes fun of pretty much everything else that he sees too, like Star Wars and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
But so
I don't know. He hit you guys pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of expecting it. This was also when, I mean, obviously those kind of costumes are typically from another fandom, right? And at the beginning, those two fandoms did not get along well at all.
No.
And so I did get a lot of hate for it. I got a lot of, you know, bronies telling me I was ruining their fandom, and a lot of people from the other fandom, you know, being like, oh, I hate My Little Pony, because they were just, there was a war at the beginning. I don't know if you remember.
I was in the middle of it. Trust me. Yes, I know.
Yeah. Which is, it's ridiculous because they're both just for fun fandoms. Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
There's
and you know, eventually people got over it, and I knew they would. It was just a little rough at the beginning.
A little rough. You're known for doing series types of art. So you've got the square series, you've got the portrait series. Both were awesome, by the way. I have many of them. Something that we can collect. Any new series we can think about coming out that we can start collecting in the new con year?
I have a few. Right now, I'm kind of concentrating on taking the Square series and applying it to merchandise because people really enjoyed that series. I also can Cat and Cat's the person who paints the things I draw when they're traditionally done. We need to catch up because we haven't done Square series for the last season and a half or so.
Right. So definitely need to catch up. Lots of new characters that need to come out in the Square series.
Yeah, so I'm always looking kind of for the next thing. I've done badges now. Kind of the new series is the travel mugs I'm doing.
Oh, I love those, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. I'm doing those, and I need to do a Wonder Bolts one and a Shadow Bolts one, and etc. So I should have all those at the cons this year, but I'm still working on it.
Cool. I love those. When I saw them at Dallas, I was going, oh, those are so cool. I just don't drink coffee.
Yeah, I don't really either. I mostly just put either tea or soda in mine. So.
Yeah. Let's see. That's that question there. Also, tell people where they can get this stuff, because they can order this stuff from you directly, right? So all the art, the cute derpy patches that you did, the travel mugs.
I do have an online store. It's not right. I have an online store. I don't keep it open all the time, and it's kind of funny because when I close it, lots of people are like, "Oh no, did you get cease and desisted?" Like everyone always just assumes, but actually it's because I make and package and ship everything myself.
Yep.
So I can't do that all the time, especially January is very busy for me, so I've closed my store. It's closed right now. But I always announce on my Twitter and my FA and my DA that it's open when I do open it. And yeah, I sell pretty much all my stuff as prints. I have a new product coming out, which are the keychains, and I posted one picture on Twitter, and everyone's already like, "Oh my god, I need that!" So they'll probably be online in the next couple weeks, I assume.
Awesome. So. Yep, that's cool. Seeing as you've sort of gotten away from costuming a little bit, any new costume ideas you're working on? Because I know you brought out, and I'm going to put a picture of her up, Gilda. You just did Gilda for a person, which was absolutely awesome. So I'm going to put a picture of that up.
Do you have the full-bodied pictures?
No, I don't, actually. I've got the head and the feet that you put up on your site.
Oh, you should have told me. I have full-body pictures of it now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, you get them to me, and we'll put them up on the YouTube. So when I edit this together. But yeah, the Gilda was amazing. You know.
Oh, thank you. She was a lot of fun. She was definitely different. The customer wanted me to use the same body shape as I had with the ponies, but obviously with several differences. Yeah. So it was a challenge, but it was definitely fun. And I'd been wanting to make her anyways, so I was very pleased when someone was like, "Hey, you should make this for me."
That's cool. Any other ones you're thinking about now that Gilda's out of the way?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to make any for myself, just because that's what I used to do. Like, all of them were for myself, and then I'd wear them, and then when I was tired of them or when I needed the money, I'd sell them.
Right.
I currently don't really have time to do that anymore because of my comic and all the other things. But I am making a Lyra here soon, and then I'm making an OC or two coming up. So there's a couple more pony costumes. I don't really have any plans to make any more, just to make them, just because of time restraints, and it does take a couple $100 up front for me, so it's kind of hard to do sometimes.
Heck yeah. Speaking of, you just said that a couple of OC requests. In our other fandom, a lot of people do their own they're doing costumes. They're doing their own characters. We don't really see that over in this fandom. They're always making characters from the show. Are you seeing more of a trend that people want to make their own OC characters to be worn at conventions, like they do in other fandom?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I remember when I first got into the Brony fandom, I was shocked that people didn't have their own characters. Like, OCs were actually kind of looked down upon, and they still are a little bit, but back in 2009, it was almost a faux pas to have an OC character. It just, because, lots of people don't really understand, color theory or design choices, so some OCs don't come out that great. And that's understandable. If I didn't have any color wheel knowledge, I wouldn't be able to, design things that are all that amazing looking. But I noticed after a while, a lot of what the fandom perceives as popular people started having OCs. Like Mando had one, and you have one, and it just became kind of more of an accepted thing, which I actually really like, because I like to see how people perceive themselves in that sort of style, and as a pony with a picture on their butt. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of fun to see what you would perceive yourself as if you dropped yourself into Equestria. What do you think you would be good at?
Exactly.
So basically, what color you would be? Would you be a Pegasus or an Earth Pony or a magician? What would you be?
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of neat that it's come around that way.
I definitely support the OC movement. I think it's really cool.
I do too. I think it's awesome. Artists are always pushing their boundaries into new things. Anything cool you are trying right now you want to listen on? I know you're doing all kinds of stuff, but maybe a new medium, something like that.
Well, right now, I'm working on my comic, so that's kind of taking over. But even with that, I'm experimenting with, more painting style, and I usually work digitally, unless I'm doing, costumes or whatever. I tried making plushies. It just kind of wasn't my thing. I made a few, and then I got frustrated with it, and was like, no. And if I'd stuck with it, I'd probably be pretty good by now. But, I was kind of frustrated, and I had costumes and stuff to work on. Right now, I'm really focusing on merchandise. Back in the day when I went to conventions, I would sit at my table, and I would take commissions at the convention. Like, I would, people come up, be like, oh, draw me this character. I'm like, okay, which is fine, but it gets stressful. I don't know if my art output at conventions is quite as good as it when I'm at home and I'm relaxed and in my own element.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to kind of go the more merchandise route and see what I could make, do my own art and then put it on things. So that's kind of really where I'm branching out right now, besides my oown personal art.
Which is what I love about the travel mugs, because all the pictures on travel mugs happen to do with ponies drinking coffee.
Yes.
All the different ways they would drink coffee or tea, which is actually kind of cool.
It's definitely fun to match what drink I think would go with what pony. And believe me, I've had people who have disagreed very, very vocally.
Of course. For me, I would think that Vinyl Scratch would have a bottle of Jack Daniels, but then, it's just me.
Yeah. I noticed before I did the main 6, and I noticed lots of kids were buying them. So as funny as because I wanted to put Berry Punch on one, just trashed, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. Kids are buying these.
Yeah. Speaking of your new comic, Caterwaul, tell us a bit about Caterwaul.
Well, Caterwaul is actually something I wrote when I was about 15 in junior high, and it is not the same story as it was, but the principle is the same. I actually wrote it and then kind of dropped the project for while I was in high school and college, and then late college I was like, wait, I had this kind of cute idea, but it was written like a 15-year-old wrote it, so I should probably redo it, revamp it. So I started to, but it was just really hard. Self-publishing comics is really difficult, and it's a labor of love, but it's one that when I was in my late college years doing my thesis, I just didn't have time for.
Right.
So it was actually, I was about to go to a convention, and I noticed one of the convention publishers had kind of posted like, hey, pitch your story ideas. We need comics and we need novels and we need that kind of thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. Why not? I had this idea. I haven't really played with it. It's not I've done like one page. Let's just see if anyone would ever be interested in this story. So I took a few shots, and then I went down and I pitched it. And I was very loopy. But I had to be because I have horrible stage fright.
Yeah.
So that I was kind of expecting them to be like, "Oh yeah, that's great, go away now." But they were like, "All right, cool, we'll email you." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." They blew me off. But lo and behold, I went home and I had an email being like, "All right, we want to publish it. Here's your contract. Let us know if you want anything changed." So I was very excited because then I was, a professional comic artist. So I've been doing that. It is a aimed sort of youth literature. It's very inspired by things I used to like when I was a kid, like Narnia and Redwall and those kind of books. And it's kind of just a feel-good, medieval adventure of animal people, which I enjoy. So
which is awesome.
It will be coming out this year.
Yes.
So that's cool. I will definitely be announcing every which way that I can where you can get it and when it's coming out, etc.
Cool. Speaking of where you can get things from you, which conventions do you plan on attending this year where we can get more of your swag?
Oh, well, I do the staple cons like Anthrocon and, going to FC next weekend. As far as pony cons, I haven't really heard back from the ones that I have inquired about. Like, BronyCon doesn't announce who gets tables until next month, I think. So, if I get a table, I will definitely be at BronyCon. I am also going to the larger cons because of Caterwaul, because I need my publisher goes to San Diego Comic-Con and those kind of conventions, so I'll be doing those as well. So it's kind of all up in the air because Caterwaul will be my priority to, obviously promote and do signings at the big cons. So I kind of hope I want to go to a few BronyCons. There's one in isn't there one in San Francisco that everyone's talking about?
BabsCon in Easter.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to go to that one. That one sounds fun. I'm kind of hoping I have time for that. So, we'll see. I will also be announcing cons. It's hard to tell right now, just because lots of them haven't done table assignments yet.
Right. Let's see. I think my last question before the commercial is, what were your thoughts on the Peep Wars?
Oh, those were intense. I remember those days.
Remember those days? They were horrible. I mean, everything was peace and quiet until the purple peeps attacked.
Yeah, and where did they even come from?
I don't know. I really don't.
Who eats purple food?
I don't.
I mean, they're
I don't get it.
Eggplants, I guess. Do they taste like eggplants? I don't know.
Ooh, I have no idea. Eggplants. Ugh. But I'm telling you, watching a pink peep burned down from a flamethrower is just, it'll make you cry.
Yeah, they put that on the news. It was crazy. Yeah.
Makes you cry.
Ugh.
Ugh. But anyway, moving on. I need to find the commercial because I didn't put it up because I was trying to get that joke in. I'm bad. Bad, Dusty. Okay, queuing up the commercial. So, we're going to commercial right now, gang, and then when we get back, we're going to go through upcoming conventions. And when we get done with upcoming conventions, we'll go straight into charity, and then you get to ask your questions of this lovely lady through one screwball. So get your questions into Screwy, because we'll be back in just a couple minutes. See you soon.
Are you tired of the high-pressure sales tactics from rank amateur merchants? Are you tired of shady characters trying to take you and your bits for a ride? Would you really rather be shopping in a glorified flea market? Don't want to pay Canterlot prices? Avoid the bucksters and the snake oil salesman. Come to Ponyville's oldest family-run business, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. You'll find us at the corner of Appleton Way and Stirrup Street. Look for the billboards. You can't miss them. There, you will find a warm, brightly lit, and friendly atmosphere. We have everything from alfalfa to Zap Apple Jam.
Look at all that stuff!
Oh yes, we carry home improvement supplies and tools for all those last-minute weekend projects. And remember, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. If it ain't filthy and it ain't stinking, then it ain't rich.
That's right, ponies. Anytime that Ponyville burns down, you go down Rich's Barnyard Bargains. They've got everything you need. Hammers, nails, thatch, wood, everything you need to rebuild that hovel that you call your home. They have it all. And remember, if it's not filthy and it's not stinking, then it's not rich at all. And we're back. And we're going to go into charity, we're going to go into upcoming convention season. So here we go. BabsCon, San Francisco, April 18th through 20th, 2014. The list goes on and on of people coming to this one. Andrea Libman, GM Barrow, M.A. Larson, Amy Keating Rogers, Megan McCarthy, Brian and Brianna Drummond, Peter New. Your Beat Brony's going to be there. Fanning's going to be there. Tarby's going to be there. Michael A's going to be there. I'm sure that Mike the Microphone will be there. It's too close for him not to be. I will drag you there if you don't come. But there you go. Also, you can go to their Ask Golden Gates Tumblr if you want to ask their mascot anything. TrotCon has just announced June 20th through 22nd in Columbus, Ohio. Guests Emily and Tay from Pegasisters Live, Pixel Kitties, Eurobeat Brony, and Cyril the Wolf will all be there. They're having a contest right now. Their theme is the Renaissance Fair, so go and draw what their OC, Peanut Bucker, would wear to their convention. And then Everfree Northwest, July 4th through 6th, 2014 in Seattle. They've announced Marika Hendricks is going to be there. Registration is open, panel submissions are open, so go do that. BronyCon, August 1st through 3rd, 2014, back in Baltimore. Registration is now open. They have also announced their first guests, Heather Breckel and Tony Fleece from the comic book series. BronyCan, August 22nd through 24th, Richmond, BC, Canada. Just opened their pre-reg at bronycan.ca for their details. They are also having a cosplay contest that coordinates with their theme of a changeling invasion, so check that out. And that is the upcoming conventions. If you have a convention that's coming up and you want me to tout it, please send me an email, dusty@manliestbrony.com, and I will get you pimped. Charity. So we're into charity. This week we had Dave Polsky, the Red Cross of Canada, for Typhoon Haitian disaster relief, and we nailed it. 633 bits on a 500-bit goal. There were two things. There were the 500-bit goal, and we were trying to reach 25K for the year. Did we do that? We'll find out in a minute. So I have, because we hit $500, our giveaways are these. One, Octavia Melody Funko large size, right there, and this Twilight Sparkle iPad case, is it an iPhone 5 case, iPhone 5 case from Japan, sent to me by one Bojo Pigeon. Thank you, Bojo. So that's those, and because we hit 500 bits, ta-da! This carving which is a scene from Daring Don't, written by Dave Polsky, as carved by one Spike Firemane. So that's all up for grabs right now to these lovely names in this hat. And I'm just mixing them up right now to find a name. Let's see, which one do I want? Which one do I want? I want that one. La-da-da. Who wins this week? Steve Gatsuo. Steve Gatsuo. Gatsuo. I know Steve. Steve is from that other fandom that we love. Steve, yeah, I have your stuff. If you're coming to Further Confusion, let me know and I'll drop it off for you. So, Steve wins this week. So let's get rid of our names out of my hat so I can wear my hat. Get my hat on my head. Oh, God. Oh, it feels good. Right there. We're going to take a sip. And we're going to move on. Our charity for Sophie. Sophie, tell us a bit about your charity.
My charity is the Denver Dumb Friends League, which sounds slightly insultive, but it was actually made in the early 1900s when they were making a charity for, animals who don't have a voice for themselves. And they are by far one of the best animal charities I've ever come into contact with. They do amazing work around here in Denver, and I'm just kind of flabbergasted because they're really committed to, getting feral cats off the street and finding animals homes, and they do a lot of events for spay and neuters for people who can't afford it. They do vaccinations for people who can't afford it. It's a really great organization, and one that I have, since moving here, become very attached to. Yes.
That is awesome. I have a little bit of thing here I'm going to read, so I actually wrote it down here. Their national organization was founded in 1910 of all times, and it was named after a London, England animal welfare group called Our Dumb Friends League. But that in those days, the term dumb was just not able to the power of human speech. So they were one of the largest Rocky Mountain-based region, providing a strong and steadfast voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. They shall provide shelter care for animals, all animals, not just cats, dogs, horses. They've done horses. And so for this one, the prizes are as such. Another iPhone 5 case, Pinkie Pie this time, also straight from Japan. You ain't going to find these unless you got a Japanese friend who's going to ship them to you. So there's that. One dog tag. I'm sure everybody can get these, but I got a whole mess of them, so I'm going to start giving these out. One dog tag. One Derpy foil card. I got another one hanging around. So this is going to be in there for anything. Okay, anything at all. Now, if we break 500 bits on this one, I think Sophie's going to kick in. What are you going to kick in, Soph?
Well, I have my portrait series, which is a very popular series that I make prints out of, and they're really nice, high-quality, matted prints. So if we hit 500, I'm donating one of each of the main 6.
Awesome.
So, Twilight, Rarity, Applejack, etc. And then I will also do a sketch of either a show pony or an OC or pretty much any character you could want.
Awesome. That's if we hit 500. That is great. Thank you very much, Soph. Thank you very much. Now, the one thing everybody's been waiting for is, did we hit 25K for the year? And you know what? We did. We hit 25K for the year. You know what got kicked in? A color sketch from Baron Angle of your OC. From this pile of names right down here. Where I put them. Right there. So I'm going to reach down here and get a name. Who gets the color sketch? This person right here. Who do I know? Phoenix Core. Phoenix! You get the color sketch, my friend. Thank you very much for your support all year. You've been one of our... there every time we do a charity. Thank you very much for your support. And we're going to get a hold of you and see what character you want sketched in color by one Baron Angle. Thank you very much. Let me note that so I don't lose who you are and what you get. Put a note real quick. Okay, color sketch on that. Okay, cool. And thank you very much, everybody, for your support all year long. We're going to do it again all year with every guest that comes on. We're gonna knock this out of the park again this year because we got started late last year and we still hit 25K. I want to do it again. I want to hit 25K again. We got an entire year to do it. We're going to start off with Sophie's charity. We're going to hit 500 and more. on this time, we can do it, and we're going to do it again and again and again, because you know why? Because we're awesome. And you're awesome. Yes, we are. So, with that, charity is over for the week. But you know what, Soph? You know what? Screwy's lost again.
Oh, no. Where'd he go?
I don't know. Have you seen him? Screwy.
Yeah?
There he is.
Oh, hey.
Hey, buddy.
I'm never lost. I just take my time getting back.
That's true. That's true. You always do. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty awesome.
Awesome. How is it up there in the snowy wilds, plains of Canada?
Well, here in the West, it's still actually, what's the term? Really warm.
Really warm. Minus
like,
20 Celsius is really warm.
No. Minus 2 Celsius is really warm.
It's kind of warm.
That's really warm for a Canadian winter. That's for sure.
Wow.
But I've been reeling in questions like as though I'm fishing.
That's good. Well, why don't you throw some out here for her?
I will do that. This one's for you, Sophie. From Prancer O'Hara. I think that's how you say it. Question for you is, what pony is the most difficult for you to draw?
Oh, well, I would have to say Chrysalis. Chrysalis or Sombra. They're both very difficult. Chrysalis more so because she has so many details. Like, all
so
the
many
holes.
Cheese legs.
Yeah, so many cheese legs. And, generally it's just kind of hard. She always has that piece of hair in her face that makes expressions harder to convey. Sombra's hard just because there isn't a lot of, showtime for him, so you have pretty much the one scene of him flying and screaming, so you kind of have to take lots of liberties with his character. I've only drawn him a couple times, so.
He's my most favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually today at work. My friend's like, "What's the most evil villain in the show?" And I'm like, "Well, Chrysalis is pretty darn evil, but I'll give it to Sombra." And then I show him a picture, and he's like, "That's a pony from My Little Pony." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, "Why does he have fangs? Does he eat meat?" And he just kept questioning me over and over again.
We don't
He's
know.
pretty evil. He did enslave in a kingdom for how many years?
Enslave an entire kingdom.
On his own. And I tell him that he looks like the smoke monster from Lost.
I have a theory. I have a theory about him, that he's actually, a discorded Star Swirl the Bearded.
Ooh,
Who
that'd be cool.
Who could not come to grips with friendship, and it drove him mad.
That's why he couldn't do. That's probably why he couldn't do that one spell that ended up turning Twilight into an Alicorn, and then he's like, "I can't do it."
That's why he couldn't finish his last spell, and Twilight had to finish it because he could not come up with the friendship to make it work.
Interesting.
Theories.
And he probably thinks that maybe crystals are part of it, and that's why he wants them so badly.
That's why he
Who
wanted to do
knows?
that. He wanted the crystals because he thought the crystals were going to.
Please,
do something.
he just has ADHD. He just loves the shiny things.
No, he just likes little square hamburgers from Florida.
Oh, yes. No. Awful. He's evil.
Yes, I knew I was going to get them in there somewhere. Next.
So this one is from Nathan Barlow. For all, this is for everyone. Where are you going to attend any conventions soon?
Yeah, we're doing Further Confusion this weekend, and then BabsCon come spring. BabsCon and Easter. So those are the two for me so far. Probably Everfree Northwest if I can swing it. I'd love to go to Brony Can. Don't know if that's going to swing. I've got my passport now. It's just I don't know if I can swing the time or the money.
Swing the time and money, Dusty. Do it. Do it for me.
I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying.
Do it for Vancouver. What about you, Sophie?
Well, I'm in line to get a BronyCon table, so if I get a table, I'll definitely be there. I do want to go to that BabsCon because that sounds awesome, and I've heard everyone talking about it.
Absolutely.
I've had a couple people actually ask if I was going to BronyCon, but I don't know if that will be in the cards just because it's kind of far away. But we'll see. Everything else is up in the air just because I need to go to other cons to promote Caterwall, and I'm actually getting a puppy in June.
A puppy?
So, yes.
What breed?
I'm not sure yet. Kind of whatever comes around. But I have yes, it's just going to be a puppy. Might be a mutt puppy. Who knows? But I'm getting one because I've wanted a dog forever, and now I'm in a really good place to have one. So
Awesome.
I don't know if cons are going to be quite as frequent with a puppy on board.
Right.
So.
Just give him one of those backpacks and just carry him around wherever you go.
Carry him
He's
around
in
like
costume. It's a child.
Yes, carry him
I
around
can
like
take-
Fluttershy.
I can take
Hey,
it.
I've seen people actually bringing dogs dressed as like ponies and stuff when I was at BronyCon.
I'll just dress as Applejack, and
There
he
you go.
can be cosplaying Winona. That's
There
fine.
you go.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, here's one of them questions. This one's from Bot117. Question for Sophie: if DHX asked you to join their art team, what will you like to draw in the show? Would you like to draw in the show? Okay, that's what you meant. Yes.
Oh, would I like to, or what would I like to?
Would you like to? Of course you would.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I would like that a lot. I think it was Everfree a couple of years ago. Sibsy and Jim were telling me to apply, but
Yeah.
when I looked into it, the HR department was like, "We do not take people outside of Canada." So I was like, "Oh, all right," because I do have some animation experience. I've worked a little bit with Disney doing storyboards for pilot episodes, and it's something that I kind of got into, but like I said before, I ultimately got into illustration rather than animation.
Yeah, they talked to Baron Engel about doing illustrations too, and they said that maybe he could work from afar because it doesn't really need to be there for illustration work.
Right.
So no, apply. Big Jim just put a big thing out last week. They go apply. They're looking for people, new shows, blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, I have the the prerequisites that I saw. I have the experience and stuff. I do have kind of a nice gig going for me right now with freelance, so it'd be kind of hard to rip me away from that, but I think they could probably convince me.
Oh, yeah. Next.
Clicky. Oh, yeah. This has been flowing around constantly in the fandom, and everyone's been talking about it. And this one's from Kalo. Question for all. What are your opinions on the Slenderman Easter egg in the latest episode?
I have not seen it. I don't believe it's there.
It's there.
I don't believe it was done on purpose. I believe it might be a animation glitch. It might be a smudge. It might be something. But it's not. No, because both Big Jim Miller and Megan McCarthy said they have no idea what Slenderman was after somebody said there was a Slenderman thing in there. And so in their Twitters, they said they didn't even know what it was. So there's no way it could have gotten in there. Unless a very sly animator snuck it in. If they did,
I
probably
thought
trouble.
someone had.
It was a very sly thing. I mean, very sly. As soon as Pinky tackles Applejack and they do that twirl thing, you'll see it's saying sound like play now. Like the hub is like doing that slash thing, and then you see Slenderman peeking around a bush and then goes in. And when I first saw it, I thought it was. See, I couldn't see his head. I could only see the bow tie and the suit. And I thought it looked like, because the shoulders and the bow tie look like an axe head or something like that, like
I don't
a
know.
weapon.
I'll have to go back and watch it again because I don't
But-
think it's there.
I'll
Is
give
it
you.
actually
I'll give
from
you.
the recordings, or did someone? Do you think someone put it in there,
Or did someone put it in there?
as a GIF? Because I
heard
saw the
people-
GIF of it, but
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the GIF, but I never actually looked back because
I
I
would-
honestly believed it.
I would go back and look at the actual episode and see if it's there. I mean, I've got it on DVR. I can check it right after the show. So
I'm sure people have been saying there. See, I honestly, yeah, a lot of people are saying they looked. It's definitely there.
Okay,
Wow.
we'll find out.
That's crazy. Slender Man.
Not like
Just
scary
can't
things.
comprehend it.
Next.
1 second. I'm just so out of it.
Fudge cake.
This fudge cakes. This one from Fluttertree for you, Sophie. I haven't had this one in quite a while. Question for you, Sophie, is what kind of tree would you be and why?
ooh, My favorite kind of tree is magnolia tree, just because they
Ooh.
smell really nice, and when they shed, they're really easy to clean up after. So I guess that one. I mean,
That's an original answer.
Yeah, I like magnolias.
I don't
I'm
think
from the
anybody's
south.
Ever,
So.
nobody's ever told us magnolia tree before. So check
Yeah,
fuck
it
that
was
one
like
up, flutter
apple
tree.
tree or something.
Yeah.
Next.
Awesome. I like that idea.
I'm from the south, so it works. You're right.
No, I'm alright. It's
Don't break a
my-
finger over there, dude.
No, it's my mechanical keyboard. I try my best not to touch it, but every time I do, you hear that. Sounds like an earthquake and from who knows where. Fudge cakes. Sorry, I'm just reading so absolutely slow today. I've been staring at a computer all day today thanks to work. So my eyes are just trying to adjust. So this is from Gavin Jab. Question for all: what episode of MLP has the biggest impact on you?
For me, it was Sonic Rain Boom. It was basically the one that really. That one and where Rarity falls back on her bed and complains of what she can't wallow in, what she doesn't know what to wallow in. So those two pretty much hooked me, and they have hooked me. You know, and the show keeps me coming back because it's so good. You know, Daring, as much as people don't like Daring Don't, I love Daring Don't. I love it. I will continue to love it. You can shove all your she shouldn't be a real pony. She shouldn't be. There's just plot holes in it. I don't care. Okay. Because I can shut my brain off and eat my Trix cereal and watch a cartoon and enjoy it. Okay, I don't have. I don't have to
Ponies
think
that walk on
yeah.
clouds.
Come on.
I don't think a superhero is all that
I don't think
crazy of an idea.
I don't think a superhero is all crazy of an idea. I don't. I mean, it's don't think that My Little Pony is Ben-Hur. It's not. It's not. It's just a fun show. Sit back, turn your brain off, eat your Trix cereal in the morning in your PJs, and watch cartoons. It's so awesome. That's my opinion, though.
What about you, Sophie?
My favorite episode and the one that got me into it is the very first one I saw, which is Cutie Mark Chronicles. I have a soft spot for origin stories. I always like the first superhero movies of series. I always like that kind of, how did these characters develop? Where did they come from? So that was the very first episode. I think I just finally, after hearing about it from all my friends, I was like, all right, I'll try it. And then that's the very first episode I clicked on YouTube. The way I finally watched ponies is kind of a sad story, so I don't know if you guys want to be bummed out, but that's the episode that got me into it.
Okay, cool.
Of course, everyone knows mine's Family Appreciation Day
Family
because
appreciation, yeah.
I'll always cry. I was telling my friend Logan on Saturday. We were talking about God, what was it? It was just show. First, we're talking about video games that made you cry. We easily knew which ones those were, and I'm like, what about TV series? I'm like, well, Family Appreciation Day. And even when I was telling him about the storyline, I started tearing up. I'm like, no, give me a second.
It's my screwy.
So this one. This one is from
James Justice! Resident superhero of Stay Burning My Friends.
Whoa.
Manipulator of cornflakes. Hero
So-
against that scourge soggy milk. Hopefully he took, you know what? Hopefully he took care of, he was in the middle of that peep thing, I think. I saw him in the background.
Did he
Yes.
survive?
How did he survive that is what I want to know.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, the flamethrowers were everywhere. Everywhere. And he's just, all of a sudden, gone.
Yeah, even years after, there's still the fallout of diabetes. I mean, it's just an ongoing problem from that war.
Yeah, I know. God, damn purple peeps. Anyway, what does James want to know?
Well. What he wants to know, question for Sophie is, how do you get prepared to draw? Do you have a technique for warming up before you start the drawing?
Good question.
Oh, yeah, very good question. That is something that I do. I do prep myself. I usually have to get comfortable. I get a drink, put on either music or shows that I like watching. And And then when I really want to get into it, if I have a big project to work on, I actually just sketch a bunch beforehand. And that's actually where the free sketch thing that I do occasionally comes from. It's, I know there's a lot of people out there that they can't afford, art, or, they don't have PayPal or whatever is preventing them from commissioning art of their OC or their favorite show character. And I was like, well, I need warm-up sketches anyways, so why don't I just do a fun guessing game so people can get free art in the process?
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually where that came from. I use those sketches to warm up and, loosen up, and they really help me when I want to get serious about drawing something that I need to do.
That is awesome.
I love that.
I still haven't won one.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I've been close.
Lots of people. Lots of people. No, not a lot. There are a few people that will complain to me that they don't win. Not even just I don't win. They actually get upset about it. But the thing is that when it first started, I only had 10, 20 people guessing numbers, and now I'll have several hundred people. I think I have a couple thousand watchers now, so the odds are kind of slim.
The odds are slim now.
I'll be honest. Yeah, but it's free art, so I don't really know if anyone has too much room.
Don't feel bad about it. No room to be angry about it because it's free art. So stop being angry about it. It's a luck of the draw. I've been trying for a year. Okay, you know what? In fact, I think the last one it was 1 to 50, right? I guessed 45, and the actual number was 5. So I was 5 from the wrong end.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. So
It is completely random. I go to random.org, which is just a random number generator, and that's how I pick my numbers. So there was one person last year that just kept every single time guessing the right number, and finally I had to be like, look, bro, I know you're really good at guessing games, but can you just lay off for a while? No one else is winning. Yeah. So it's just really luck.
It's random luck.
That, or if the guy who owns the random site.
Speaking of luck,
secrets and lies.
Speaking of luck, we had a Christmas party, because I work at Future Shop, and we had a Christmas party last week or something like that, and we could buy tickets for a draw, and we could put it in and get a variety of prizes. And we had a bunch of things like a James Bond Blu-ray collection, a PS4, tickets to a Harry Potter exhibit, and all sorts of other really cool things. And then I'm like, I guess I'm just going to go for it. So I bought a bunch of tickets, and I put into the stuff I wanted. And then one item after another, I was not winning. And I was actually looking really depressed. And people were noticing. And then they're like, don't worry, man, you'll get it. And then sure enough, I won a freaking PlayStation 4.
Oh, man, nice.
Sweet.
I freaked out so hard because I literally almost fainted. I was very, very faint at that point because I've never won a thing in my whole life. And I was just like, holy cow, I've never won something in a draw before, so cool. I was so happy, and everyone was cheering for me, and they're like, yeah, you deserved it. And I'm like, well, thank you.
And now you get to buy $70 games.
Pretty much.
Congratulations.
You get to the cost almost instantly.
That's how they get you. Next.
So this one's from Parasol. Question for all. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
It's
not cornflakes. That's James.
No,
Justice.
That's James. Can't have cornflakes. That's James. I think he's trademarked that, by the way. Let's see. I think that I would have super intelligence.
Ooh, good one.
Yes. Why? Because I'm dumb as a brick, and it'd be nice to see the other side of it.
Please.
How about you, Soph?
I think I might. It would depend because everyone always throws crazy rules around. But if there weren't a lot of rules, I would pick time travel. Easy. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than getting to who's gonna win this big game or lottery or that kind of stuff. I would totally be selfish about it. But
go back and see if the history books were actually correct.
Yeah, exactly. But if people, the typical you can't mess with anything and you can't bring stuff back or take things, I'd be like, all right, I'd probably go with flight just because that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't even be fun to like save people. I would go and like try out for movies. Be like, you need a superhero movie? I can actually fly.
There you go.
Right? I'm so selfish.
How about you, Scrooge?
I can't save you, falling baby. I have to be in a movie.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now the thing is that when people ask me these questions, I cheat in every possible way by saying something like, well, if I had a superpower, my superpower would have the ability to do anything I want. And then it's like, bam, I just put a hole deep into your question, so I can do whatever I could be super smart. I could fly if I wanted to.
Don't pull the pin on the grenade and throw it in the middle of everything.
See, no, that's why people should not ask me these questions, because I just find a hole.
That's because you're too brilliant. You're already super smart.
Too brilliant.
Too brilliant. Brilliant.
You'd be a villain.
I would be the villain.
You would be a villain. I can see it now.
Yeah.
You would be the villain.
This world would be mine. If it isn't already.
Next.
This is from Dirty Kitten. It's actually Dirty Kitten's birthday today. So he was wondering if he can get a special happy birthday from my how do you say this? Prodigy? I don't know what that is. Prodigy. Prodigy.
I'm not sure that's the word you want to use. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you know what that word means. But
I don't even know what it means. I don't even want. See, now this is where my intelligence fails me.
Yo, DK. Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dirty Kitten. Happy birthday to you.
I love it.
That was classy. I liked it.
Thank you. I was trying to pull out my Elvis Presley, but...
I just watched a movie with my dad the other day on Elvis Presley. See, I know, that just comes out of nowhere.
Next.
This is from Pink Pearl Apple for Sophie. This is... question is, how much would it cost for a Flutterbat picture?
Well, I've drawn a ton of Flutterbat. I actually have my commission prices on my DA.
Yep.
So, they're in an old journal, so I actually need to like pin that or find some way to keep it on the front page. But if anyone's interested in art from me, I'm not open all the time for commissions. I usually open like quick, like first to at me gets one. So, but if you ever are curious about my prices, just go to my DA, or you can always like note or email me asking about it. So.
Well, I just linked the DA to the guys for you, so.
yeah. The DA is pretty on top of what my prices are.
Awesome. And also from Pink Pearl, Dusty, I'm getting you something for Valentine's Day.
Aw, you know what? You're going to have to, okay that with Amy. Okay.
She said also for Amy, too.
Okay. All right. Don't go broke. Sending me stuff. You've already sent me enough.
So this one is from this name. I can't do this. Tokusatsukuga. To all, what do you think of K-pop/J-pop?
Ooh, Korean pop, Japanese pop. Haven't heard a whole ton of it. When I was listening to Japanese music, it was basically Japanese rock music, like Loudness or Japan X or any of those bands. So basically, I'm more into the hard rock end of Japanese music. So I haven't heard a lot of it, so I can't really tell you.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I haven't really heard a lot. The most I think I've really been exposed to is the Gangnam Style song. I do recall one of my very favorite recent animated films, Wreck-It Ralph, had a J-pop band for the Sugar Rush song, if you guys saw that. Their name's like AKB48 or something. I have no idea, but I was actually entertained because, first of all, it was perfect for the game inside that movie. It's the sound and everything was just phenomenal. It's like exactly what you think that kind of game would have. But apparently, it was just some random animator was like listening to that song when like the director walked by as they were working on the movie, and he was like, "Wait, what is that? That needs to be in the movie." So they had them write a song for Wreck-It Ralph, which is cool.
I actually really love the soundtrack to that movie. It was awesome.
Me too. Yeah.
Rumors of second. Oh boy, I seriously hope so.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm really excited about the second How to Train Your Dragon coming out this year. Too.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Sequels.
I saw the teaser to that. I'm just like, oh my goodness, yes.
I am actually very impressed that the studios went ahead and made Hiccup look older. Like, if you've seen the trailers or the pictures, the posters out now, he looks older. He's obviously hit puberty. He has a little bit of stubble, and I'm just very impressed because it seems like a lot of series kind of just are stagnant in the fact that the characters don't change. It's supposed to be in like the same day, pretty much, like
Simpsons.
same week.
Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really nice to see a movie studio with such a popular title actually branch off and try something new, as changing the characters and making them obviously mature from the last movie. Because some people are going to want that old Hiccup back, but he's obviously going to be different, and I really like that.
Absolutely, I'm going to love it. Love it. Next.
Where did I put you? Oh yeah, here we go. So this is from the Guardian Angel. Dusty, what kind of beret is that, and what is on the Flash?
This is a military-style beret, and the Flash is actually... I'm going to put it up next to the camera, and you figure it out. See if you can figure out what that Flash is.
1 second.
And I'll tell you what. If anybody... The first person who can figure out what that Flash is and tell it to Screwball will get a dog tag from me, and I'll mail it to you.
Okay, I already got Parasaurus, this Skull and Blackbird.
Yes, but what's it from?
DJ says Expendables.
Thank you. Done. Yes.
He spelled Expendables wrong, but I'll still take it.
We'll take it. Okay, so you get your mailing address stuff to Screwball. He'll get it to me after the show, and I'll mail you one.
Awesome. Yes, it's just DJ. No, it's alright, DJ, but I would have spelt it wrong.
Yes, Expendables 3. Expendables 3 is coming out this summer too. So if you love explosions, if you like stupid plots and explosions, can't wait.
Who's the villain?
I don't know yet.
Is
it you, Screwy?
Is it you?
Totally is.
You with your superpower of everything?
Yes.
Yes, of everything.
Screwy.
And I'm gonna fist fight both Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger at the same time. It's pretty awesome.
Yep,
Wow.
Yep.
Fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's totally far fetched. I'm
Holding
not
him off with his kung fu.
It's dang it! Who is it that's the villain in it? I know it. It'll come back to me probably after the show. I'm like, no,
Probably.
that's what it was. I got his face, but I can't remember. Yeah, whatever. I give up. So this one is from DJ Hexy for all. What is your opinion on Manhattan?
What's my opinion on Manhattan? It's pretty much true to life because I've been in Manhattan when I went to BronyCon, New Jersey, because I went there an extra day early and actually walked around Manhattan in that area, and it's pretty much true to life. I actually took a train to Brooklyn to see my friend that I hadn't seen in years, and we sat down and drank beers for a couple hours. I went back to Manhattan and walked around. I thought it was well done. There's the locals, you could tell, are kind of gruff, and the people who were tourists were not. You could tell. So it was like, I think it was pretty much true to life. What was really cool is they put an actual ode to cats in Times Square. If you looked at the billboards on the left of the theater that had Henry the Hills, the lowest billboard had a black background with two eyes with two ponies in it, which is basically the Cats billboard, but with ponies. It's freaking hilarious. I loved it.
I did not notice that at all. Wow.
Yeah.
I was really amused with the taxi pony. I thought that was the cutest thing ever. For some reason, that had just never occurred to me that a taxi pony would have like a little checkered cutie mark, and it was really cute. So
it was really cute.
What was really cool is when I went back and I watched it again, everything that was a major plot point had rainbows on it. Everything.
Really?
Yes, if you go back and you look at the taxi, all the other taxis had checkerboards. His had a rainbow.
Oh! We got to pay more attention to that now.
Yes.
Next episodes. I never
Yep.
realized that. Because
It's a major plot point. They'll have rainbows on it.
this is just speculation.
I
I'm
caught you,
pretty
Megan.
sure.
I caught you. I caught you.
I'm pretty sure this is a speculation, but my guess is that these items that they receive, such as the spool, is indeed the keys to the mysterious box.
Mysterious box. Box.
And-
What's in
but-
the box? Yes.
But like how her eyes went that rainbow, and how that what is it, that fence thing went all rainbow. It's
Yep.
like, it seems like anything that's a major. Okay, yeah, you really blew my mind, Dusty.
Hey, rainbow power, anybody?
I think I know what's in that box. And it is a horn for Rainbow Dash. I'm calling it Rainbow Dash Alicorn.
Rainbow Dash Alicorn. Ooh. Have you seen, Soph, have you seen the actual art that they put up? Somebody took a picture of a piece of art.
Banner.
The banner from Target or something. And Rainbow Dash's hair looks like it came straight off of
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, or
Oh, really? I don't know if I saw that.
her hair is like spiked, like
It's
Wow.
totally screaming Super Saiyan 3
Yeah,
Dragon
pretty
Ball
much.
Z Goku. Like, it's just like
Wow.
out of this world hair.
so. Rainbow is going to be the main thrust of this, but how's it going to work? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it probably ties into the fact that, like, you know, the Rainboom brought them all together.
Yeah,
It has to
probably
have
does.
something to do with that kind of stuff.
Yep, probably does. Next.
Boom. So this is from Gavin Jab. Question for all: what MLP secondary cast do you think needs more recognition?
Ooh.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. You know me. I want more Cheerilee airtime all the time. So I'm thinking Cheerilee needs more airtime.
I'd agree with that. I like Shirley. I would have to say Brayburn. I was very upset in the family reunion episode where he did not have any lines.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a toss-up because I really like Donut Joe, too. I thought he's the cutest. He just has, like, cute design, and I like him.
The weird thing about Apple Family Reunion is that Hayseed turnip truck is an apple.
Yeah. All right.
I was like, huh? I had to think
Yeah.
about that for a while.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with that episode because I love the Apple family, but I also really love Brayburn, and he did not get any lines.
He didn't.
So.
Yeah, he didn't get any lines. I want to see more of Equestria. I want them to go. We've seen Manhattan now, so
Right, yeah.
I want to see Philadelphia. I want to see Baltimore. I want to see Las Pegasus. I want to see whatever Los Angeles is. I want to see some more of the country. I want to see some more. And now that we've got season 5 has been announced. Yes, we've got 26 more episodes of maybe seeing more of Equestria. So
I would really love to see more about the zebras, I think.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I love Zecora. She's
yeah.
not only a really well-designed character, like, if you had to ask me seriously, I think Zecora is probably the best designed character in the show.
Quite underused too.
Yeah, very underused. And I'm biased because the voice actress Brenda,
Yes,
she's
Brenda.
she's fantastic, and
Love
she's
her.
one of the nicest people.
Mhm.
So, but I would love to see them go to, like, the zebra or even
Yeah.
the griffin lands,
Yeah.
or
That-
the Arabian
went-
horse
If
area.
they went
that'd be
to
cool.
Saddle Arabia on a mission of if they went to, I could see it now. If Zecora got a message from home that she had to come back because her father, who's the head of the tribe, is dying or something, and then the main 6 say, "We're going with you," and then have that travel episode where everybody has to, like, band together. They kind of split apart and they have to band back together to get her home, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be
It'd be funny if none of the other zebras rhymed. It's just Zecora.
Yeah, it's just Zecora. It's like all those.
Like,
She comes
they're
in and she
obviously
rhymes, and they
all-
all look at each other. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like the main 6 is just expecting everyone to rhyme, and they get there and they're like, "What the hell?"
what the heck?
That'd be the best.
Yes. Buy some apples.
She's just. This one's
What?
for you, Dusty, from
Uh-oh.
Subtle Wind. What did you think of the Dustykatt that appeared in a Delicious Cabin?
I had to have a moment of silence for him because he died. He died too soon. He died way too soon. But yeah, it was kind of cool actually. It was a really good joke. I loved the joke. A lot of people are going, "Oh, that's you. You're canon now." No, it's not. It was just a really good joke. Okay, you got a hoarder who has a cat lady, and it's like, wow, she wouldn't have cleaned the place. Wow, there's a whole pile of dust that looks like a cat. That's kind of funny. That's cool. So everyone's saying, "Oh, it was a nod to you." No, probably not. Probably not. It was a really good joke, and everyone's seeing more into it than what it is. So
I totally did.
I know you did. It was a really cool joke, and I got him as my Twitter icon now, and I will have him for a while. But it was a cool joke.
I laughed really hard when I saw that.
Yeah,
I never actually realized it until then.
I laughed pretty hard too. So I was like, but I didn't put 3 and 4 together until after the show was over. I went, wait a minute.
It's Dustykatt.
It's a Dustykatt. And I was like, yeah. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would do that. But it's nice to think that they would. But I don't think they did.
Let me see. Okay, so this one's from Imperious. Question for Sophie. Here's a toughie. Do you have any personal MLP headcanons?
Oh, I mean, I share the ones that the fandom has kind of developed, like the Derpy one, and I kind of like the show for what it is. I'm not really a shipper. Which is funny because anytime I draw 2 characters in the same picture, people just assume that I ship them, and I'm like, no. Like I drew a picture of Brayburn and Big Mac hanging out, and everyone's like, oh, you're shipping them, and I'm like, they're cousins. They just hang out with people.
I hang out with my cousins. I mean, come on.
I think if I had to pick one, I like the idea. I'll admit, I like the Flash Century guy from. Like, I like him as a pony. He's a cute pony. I'm kind of personally sad that they are not including him in the show because he's really cute, and I like the idea of Twilight kind of having an interest just because, she's kind of a bookworm, and I feel like in the series, like she was started out kind of one-dimensional as like this just smarty pants, right? And then they really developed her, and I'd like to see even more of like her emotions besides just being smart and bookwormish. So I do like Cheerly and Big Mac though. I think that's a cute pairing.
Yep.
Yep. I still think Sombra's still alive. I'm sorry. I just want more Sombra because I don't know. There's just something about him. I don't know. It's not until like maybe within a few weeks I realized, holy crap, I actually really do like Sombra. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't so hot on him until I had to actually sit down and draw him. Because I hadn't drawn him at all until someone commissioned a drawing of him. And then that's when I was kind of like, he's kind of cool. I mean, he's actually pretty evil.
He can be pretty evil.
I think it's just the how mysterious he is and how evil he is. I don't know, it just seems to be an appeal for me. It's just like people hate him because he has no character development. I'm like, but that's what makes it so much fun. That's why you want to see more of him, is that so you can get more of a story.
I mean, really, did he come out of a 70s rock band, playing bass?
I love his style.
I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll see more of him in the future. They've been pretty good about bringing characters back, so that'd be a cool story to tell, his origin story. And like I mentioned before, I love origin stories.
We need more Gilda. We need to bring Gilda back.
Yes. I want more Marika Hendricks.
You know what? I actually, with Gilda, not gonna lie, people are always like, oh, she was so mean. But really, she had seen her friend for the first time in what appeared to be a very long time, and Pinkie Pie was being kind of annoying in that episode. Like, Gilda didn't handle it correctly, but she was trying to have quality time with her friend, and Pinkie Pie kept butting in. Yeah. So, I think Gilda has anger management issues. I don't think she's quite as awful as everyone thinks she is.
If you want a perfect story of Gilda and why she's not even close to a villain, talk to my good friend Ramble. He he knows how to convince you that she is indeed not even close to a villain, and that she is just misunderstood and that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think she's definitely like not the nicest person on Earth, but I think that she's probably lots of people paint her as this awful, awful creature, and I'm like, I don't know. I think Pinkie Pie was just being kind of annoying, and it just finally just made her snap a little bit.
It was one of her most annoying episodes early on.
Yeah.
So. Next.
Next.
Oh, Dr. Claw.
I'm not. I was about to say a gate next time, Gadget. But I'm not.
Gadget next time.
I might have to draw your OC petting a Dustykatt from the show now. that might have to happen.
It's gonna be like collapsing or something.
There you go.
Right? No, but like, the Dr. Claw thing, you're just petting that cat made of dust. I like it.
There you go.
Oh my dear sweet lord. So this is from Fireman. What are reactions to what was your reaction to know that now the main 6 and the CMCs are now all on Twitter?
Awesome. It's nice to see that Claire has come onto Twitter. We'll see if she actually talks.
Not just Claire. You're forgetting one.
Maddie's on too. Maddie's been on for a while.
No. There's another that just came on today.
Oh, Andrea or Ashley.
Ashley, yep.
Yes.
Ashley Ball just came on, so I was freaking out on that one.
Yep,
On
Ashley just made. I'm still sort of. Is it Ashley or not? So
it is. Hey Ocean confirmed it.
Oh, good. Okay, so if it's been confirmed, then good. Ashley's here. Awesome. That'd be great. So I think she only did it to take care of, to get rid of the other one that just wouldn't go away.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
Some people do those joke Twitters and just don't know when to quit.
Yeah.
There's
I'm looking at you, old Ashley.
But I was a little shocked because Claire Corlett, within the day, she gained more followers than her dad.
Her dad, yeah.
And her dad was trying so hard to get 2,000. I felt absolutely sorry for him.
Yeah.
Because I even tried a few times. I'm like, guys, if I have more followers than Ian James Corlett, you guys have something wrong with you, because this is not how it's supposed to be. So I've been constantly tagging him, constantly trying, and no one's listening, and it breaks my heart. You're breaking Goku's heart. Do you want to do that?
See, we need to get him on this show. If we have him and Claire on the show together, wouldn't that be cool?
There you go.
I have to contact him and say, hey, now we'll see what happens.
I like that. I would like that. Wouldn't you like that, Sophie?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Next.
So this one is from. I have to bring him up again just because I'm just. It's from James Justice.
Justice.
But question for all: since we have MLP Monopoly, what other board or card games would you like to see a pony version of?
Sorry.
Oh yes.
Completely missed a joke, Screwy. Went right over your head.
What? I don't... Oh, the Canadian thing. Boo. Dusty. Boo. Boo.
I gotcha.
It gives me...
See. I'd like to see the board game Life. Because, you could go and get your cutie mark.
Yeah,
you, draw the cards and you get to pick one.
Heck yeah.
And then at the end, you either, retire or become an alicorn.
There you go. Or, you know what? They
Listen to this one.
They actually did Battleship in the show.
Yep. They did, but it's called something else, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's like, you rained on my cumulus, you got my seagulls, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so if somebody actually repurposed Battleship and did it as a...
That was the episode where... The first Daring Do episode, right?
Yeah, where Rainbow learned how to read.
Gotcha.
There's... Pink Pearl Apple I've seen she posted, which is... I love this idea. We need a My Little Pony Clue.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That'd be neat.
I don't care if it's dark. I love it.
Actually, they have Disney Clue.
They have Disney Clue, yeah.
Yeah, you go to the Disney theme parks, you can get Disney Clue where all the characters are like Mickey and Pluto and Goofy. Obviously the main plot isn't a murder. I think something got stolen or something. But yeah, we always used to play it though that someone got murdered.
What would be really funny is
Chip and Dale got murdered.
If they did Clue MLP and it was all the villains.
Ooh, yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then Twilight and Pinky are the detectives.
There you go.
Actually, Marvy Z made a good one. We need a Milo Pony version of Mario Party. I would love that. Someone needs to make a video game. If you guys haven't played Mario Party, you don't know the best game to ruin friendships ever. The competition in that is unbelievable.
Hey, Screwy.
Oh.
Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is?
What is it?
Guess what time it is?
No, what time is it?
It's that time again.
No, that's fudge cakes.
Fudge cakes, I know. Find me that one really great question you've been holding on to.
Okay, let me think. I still have like 20. I'm just trying to pick a real good one. I've actually, for the first time, I think I actually forgot to
pick one.
Do this. Yes. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna bring up Gavin's because I think this one's been asked before, but this one will be for you, Sophie. If you've read any of the My Little Pony comics, which is your favorite story arc?
There you go.
I definitely like the Chrysalis one. I have not gotten my hands on the Luna one that just came out.
Me either.
But
I haven't either. Me either.
I really want to read it because it looks amazing.
Yes.
So, I really like the comics. They do a great job with those.
Mm-hmm.
Chrysalis is my favorite too. I don't know, it was just adorable and hilarious.
Yep. Can't wait for that. I gotta get my hands on the Luna one because I gotta get my hands on it. I'm behind a couple of comic books.
Have you guys read the Pirates one at all? I never had a chance to yet.
Yes, it was awesome.
No, I haven't read that one either.
Got to.
It was.
I've been kind of falling behind since Big Mac's one, so I eventually.
Oh yeah. I think that's actually the last one I read too.
That one was hilarious, though. Oh my goodness.
That one was good. So we are now at the end of the program, and I'm going to read for you right now all the wonderful original programming that you can come back this week and watch right here on Everfree Network. First, you start out on Mondays with this beautiful program, Stay Brony, My Friends. On Tuesdays, though, at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, is Cutie Art Crusaders. The CAC find the best art this fandom has to offer and tells you all about it. They need to do more of Sophie because it's awesome. The Inventory at KPNY, Wednesdays, Odd Weeks, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, is a radio drama. What happens if Equestria finds us? The Bronies. What do? Come find out, and they'll tell you all about it. Equestria Inquirer is Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, the source of truth in Equestria. And then Into the Spotlight with Asaka Jack, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, focuses on the person behind the Brony. Sketchy Sounds Live Songcast, Thursdays, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, a 2-hour live set of music played by Sketchy for you. Post My Video with Jay Haller and BVids, Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The premier video and animation showcase, interviews with guests and showing off new content in the PMV world. New show, Elements of Harmony, Fridays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. New show about the fan music community. Join Six String, Forest Rain, Zeta Prime, Starlight, Ironhoof, and Infinity Pony for an informative show dedicated to providing interviews with musicians and studies of various musical genres within the Brony community. Check it out. I've checked out the first two. They are awesome. Lunar Republic Takeover, Fridays. On the radio side, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Nightmare Moon takes over the stream and uses her lunar superiority to play the music that you want to hear right here on this radio station. Mixology with DJ One Trick and DJ Midley, Saturdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Two awesome DJs take over the stream and bend your ears with all the wubs and tunes you could ever want. Then Eastern Sounds with Frozen Sound, Saturdays, 11 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern, a 2-hour live mix of Brony dance music scheduled for the European time zone friends. Saturday Night Songs with Michelle Krieber, Saturdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. When the Krieber clan is not on the road entertaining you, they'll be home, calling in to Everfree Network and entertaining you that way. Then the Blue Screen Bronies, Sundays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The guys help you find all the good games. It's the gaming show. Stay away from those bad PlayStation 4 games. Get all the good ones. They'll tell you which ones they are. Pegasisters Live, Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Emily J. and Tay tell you all the news about our fandom from the Pegasister point of view. And that is all the original content you can come back and watch every week, right here on Every Free Network. And with that, we're at the end of the program. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. And remember, we have a new t-shirt out. Here's the new t-shirt. You want to go to redbubble.com, Everfree Network, to get the new t-shirt. You wanted it, you got it. We might get a new one in a couple of months. This one might be getting a little stale, but for now, that's what we got. Check it out. We love to see you wearing our swag. Also, stick around for the new outro. It's not so new. We've played it a couple times, but it's still awesome. With Filming is Magic guys, I'm going to have on the show probably sometime in March, and we'll talk about how to do these kind of 3D animation things. So make sure you check that out. Also, I want to let you know, in 2 weeks' time, our next guests will be will be the BabsCon crew, which will tell you everything about what's going on with BabsCon coming Easter weekend. They'll have everybody. Maybe we'll even sneak in a special guest or two. Who knows? I'm trying to get the best things for you guys. So who knows what I can come up with? The mustache knows, but you don't. So I want to thank Sophie for taking time out of her busy schedule for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Filming is Magic, BabsCon, BronyCon, TrotCon, Everfree Northwest, BronyCan, Care to Win, Amy, my wonderful girlfriend, Everfree Network, Screwy, and you out there for coming every time we turn that camera on and make fools out of ourselves. So thanks a lot for coming, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time when we have information, brand new information from BabsCon. You know you want to go. You want to be here because it's going to be awesome. And by the way, it's San Francisco. You can have bread bowls with clam chowder. You can have fresh crab. You can have ice cream from Ghirardelli. Why wouldn't you want to come? It's awesome around here. You want to be here for BabsCon because I'm going to be there. We're all going to be there. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.
Throughout the entire course, I had life studies and, live model studies. So it was really helpful. I think one of the things people kind of make the mistake of when they start learning to draw is that they'll learn one style. Like take pony, for example. They'll only draw ponies when you really need that basis of, draw a cup that's sitting in front of you, or a spoon, or advance to drawing your siblings or your best friend. You have to start with the basics. You can't just draw one thing if you really want to understand the principles.
Oh yeah, when when I moved here into California, I took a life drawing class, and the first thing they did is they put a basket of apples out there. It's like, oh, draw that.
Yeah, exactly.
So boring. Yeah, but draw it. Okay, fine. So we drew that. And it just kept getting big. You draw a boot, draw a chair, draw this, draw a negative space, draw all that kind of stuff. So it was like, wow, it all helps. It all helps.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is the one thing that you tell those people who come up to you, ask, and say, I love your art. How can I get any better at it?
Well, to touch on what I just mentioned, I tell them to draw what's in front of them first, to learn shading and, the kind of principles that will really help them in the long run. But the main thing is lots of people say draw every day, and that's correct. You should draw every day, but don't draw the same thing every day. Don't just draw Rainbow Dash every day. You're never going to get better except for at Rainbow Dash, and that really limits you.
Yeah, what if somebody comes and says, I'd love you to draw Fluttershy, and you can't do it?
Yeah, exactly. So draw every day, but challenge yourself. Yeah. Draw things that you aren't comfortable drawing, because yeah, it might look bad when you first draw it, but if you start challenging yourself, eventually you're going to be able to expand and be able to draw something you haven't drawn before pretty well on the first try, just because you're used to drawing things you're not comfortable with.
Yep, I can see that. You are like a triple threat. You do
Her finger painting while she cooked and, did everything.
nice.
So I kind of did that before I even have any memories of it, really, and I just kind of kept drawing ever since.
That's cool. So, what are the first memories of something that you drew that you can remember? Everyone starts to draw out their favorite thing. Whether it be a comic or a cartoon character or something. What's that first thing you can remember that actually tipped you into wanting to go from finger painting to actually drawing?
Well, we had these programs when I was in elementary school for fire safety, and one of the things that they would do is have a fire safety poster contest where you had to design your own poster that conveyed fire safety in some way. And I had picked the safety tip that you don't go for possessions or valuables, just get out of the house. So I had Garfield trying to go back into a house for his lasagna that was on fire. And my entire class was just in love with it. Like, everyone showered with me with attention for a week or two because of that poster. Everyone wanted me to draw Garfield or this character, that character, and that's kind of when I was like, I want to do this. This is fun. So
Cool.
it was, yes, Garfield trying to save lasagna.
Garfield trying to save the lasagna. Love it. So going from grade school and fire posters, you obviously moved up into some other schooling or training in drawing. What kind of training have you had in your art field?
Oh, well, I went to college over in Orlando for art and animation. I'd always kind of wanted to be an animator, but as that kind of progressed, I realized I liked illustration more and comics more. So while I do have a background in 3D and 2D animation, I ultimately went more of an illustrator route. So I went to college, I graduated with a bachelor's, and yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Nice. It's great, other than the equipment. Damned expensive. But,
it's really expensive.
Yeah, so let's get into it. First stock question I'm going to give to everybody. What are some of your earliest memories of cartoons or comics that you enjoyed as a kid?
Well, I definitely enjoyed the mornings when my father would read me the comics in the paper because I was too young to read them myself. So I used to remember not being able to understand any of the words, but just seeing the pictures and really kind of making my own stories in my head, what these characters were doing outside of the comic. And my favorite was Calvin and Hobbes by far. I think everyone knows that. I think almost every cartoonist my age, I'm in my late 20s, can cite that as a reference and an inspiration. So I definitely like that. And I watched, Disney all the time, Rescue Rangers, Gummy Bears. I'm pretty old, so I liked all those late 80s, early 90s stuff.
No, you're not old at all. Unless you can bring up Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. You're not that old.
I have no idea what that is.
That's just it. Okay.
All right. Yeah, no.
I used to watch those weird Sid and Marty Krofft dropping acid Lidsvilles and things like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those. No, I've seen some of those, but I didn't watch the original Ponies as a kid because I didn't really like it. So, and I definitely like it now.
Yes.
The new one. So.
We all like it now. What was that one thing that got you to pick up a pencil and start drawing?
Well, I started off with finger paints, so I couldn't hold a pencil really well yet. My parents, obviously a theme here, they were very supportive of art. My mom bought me a tiny little stand-up easel so that when I was a toddler, I could be in the kitchen with her.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside. Come inside. It's Dusty. It's your boy. How you doing? Been a good 2 weeks for you? Been a good 2 weeks for me. It's been awesome. It's a beautiful sunny day here in San Jose, California. 74 degrees. Bright and sunny. I was out getting my teeth cleaned this morning and taking care of stuff and those adult things you need to do when you're an adult. Take care of bills, put gas in the truck, things like that. But you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about my day, do you? No, nobody wants to hear about my day. You're here to meet one Sophie Cabera. Soph, where are you?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? How you doing out there in Colorado?
I'm doing all right. It is dark and cold.
Dark and cold. What part of Colorado are you in, by the way?
I am in downtown Denver right now.
Downtown Denver, Colorado. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time I was ever in Denver, I was driving through it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice here. I just moved from Florida, so I enjoy it.
Yeah. So you getting into snow, snow things like tubing or skiing or snowboarding, or are you just staying inside with a cup of cocoa?
I actually went snowboarding a couple weeks ago for the first time. Yeah. I fell a lot, but I used to surf, so I was pretty good at it.
Yeah, you'll pick that up
after a while. Yeah.
I used to skateboard, so it took me about a weekend, and then I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I like snowboarding.